Still with thee, when purple morning breaketh, when the bird waketh, and the shadows flee. Fairer than morning, lovelier than the daylight, dawns the sweet consciousness I am with thee.
First stop in our lesson today, a poem by Mary Oliver, Morning Glories. Blue and dark blue, rose and deepest rose, white and pink, they are everywhere in the diligent cornfield, rising and swaying in their reliable finery, in the little fling of their bodies, their gear and tackle all caught up in the corn stalks. The reaper's story is the story of endless work, of work careful and heavy. But the reaper cannot separate them out. Where they are in the story of his life, bright, random, useless, year after year, taken with the serious tons. Weeds without value, humorous, beautiful weeds. You see the meaning, I'm sure. We're the workers in the diligent cornfield, workers doing endless work, work careful and heavy. I think the human race has never had such careful, heavy work to do. Whether we can summon the will, wisdom, forbearance, and cooperation is another question. Fortunately for us, all caught up in the corn stalks are grace notes. There, if we look for them, grace notes, humorous, beautiful weeds taken with the serious tons. Like a vine scrambling where it wants to, a morning glory, random and smiling and blooming to the glory of God. Surely, whatever our work in whatever corner of the cornfield, we can pay attention, be astonished, and tell about it. The prophet Micah, of the tribe of Judah, who lived centuries before Jesus was born, had careful work to do, and that was to offer his people hope, which he did by imagining for them a better day. And if you're going to imagine, why not imagine something big, something outrageously impossible? In Micah's day, war between imperial powers was raging. Egypt and Assyria, and poor little Israel caught in the middle, threatened with destruction by Assyria. And so, perhaps with a courage born of desperation, Micah dreamed a morning glory dream of peace, and he told about it. Listen. Micah chapter 4, beginning in verse 3. And they shall grind their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not raise sword against nation, nor shall they learn war any more. And they shall dwell each man beneath his vine and beneath his fig tree, with none to make him tremble. For the mouth of the Lord of armies has spoken. The image in the text that stepped forward most immediately, for me, was vine. A vision of each household beneath its own vine. Me and my precious ones dwelling in peace under our vine. Not hunkered down in mandated isolation, but because it feels so good to be home. At home on the hearth of God, with none to make us tremble, with work to do each day, and a measure of satisfaction in the accomplishment. Sounds like heaven to me. Another heavenly verse about vines, Isaiah 5:1. Let me sing to my beloved the song of my lover for his vineyard. A vineyard my beloved had on a hillside rich in soil, and he hoed it and took off its stones and planted it with choice vines. And another, Song of Songs, chapter 2, verse 13. The fig tree has put forth its green fruit, and the vines in blossom waft fragrance. Arise and go, my friend, my fair one, go forth. The vines in blossom waft fragrance. And I thought, yes, that's it. Somewhere deep inside us, in our heart's deep core, there is a choice vine, a precious vine, planted by God. The fruit of this vine is meant to be something about connection, cultivation, restoration, intricacy, intimacy, twining, sufficiency, shalom. By the way, the woman who posed for this statue in 1921 was a professional dancer. Good thing, because she had to hold that pose a really long time. In the spirit of shalom, in the spirit of resting our eyes on beauty, in the spirit of letting an image from the Bible sink in more deeply, what follows is a gallery of vines. Flowering vines, fruiting vines, cultivated vines, wild vines. If this little tour sharpens your eye for the garden, if you say, hey, she left out my favorite vine, well then, my work is done, and yours has begun. And if you'd like a little game to play, watch for the school bus.
My guardian of dreams, petals clenched tightly in the late morning sun. Oh, my day is just starting, your day is done. Green butterfly lights upon you. Once and then again he calls, trying so hard to get through. He dances and somersaults, floats away blue. His bold ambition has failed to sway you. Morning glory, fuchsia and green. You sweet little Jezebel, my garden of dreams. Petals climb touch the ground on that sagging clothesline. Paint's peeled and screens are torn. I got so much to do, oh, but I'll steal 1 minute more of this glory with you. Morning glory, fuchsia and green, such a sweet little Jezebel, my garden of dreams. Petals clenched tightly in the late morning sun. Oh, my day's just starting. Your day is done. Oh, my day is just starting. Your